Did you hear that? She's always
I'm
ready.
always ready.
So we had some interesting questions, and you had an interesting session, and we've kind of been building on this topic of your partner wanting to control your clitoral stimulation.
Okay, better to say it. They want to give you an orgasm.
So they want to hold your vibe. They want to do the diddling. They want to do the inserting. What is that really about? If you peel back all the layers, what is that about?
It's the male and female sex roles. They're active, we're passive. They're dominant, we're submissive. They're powerful, we're weak.
And I think that could also translate into homosexual relationships and lesbian relationship and transgender relationships. It's always the idea that one person's on top and the other
top
one's
and a
on
bottom. Yep. The point is that if you're dancing, I like to make the analogy where I learned to follow when I would be dancing.
Well, that's the 40s and the 50s. That was the style of dance. It was always about following.
And then we all started to get a little high, and we broke apart, and then we got into disco and moving and doing.
And you danced on your own with someone else.
But you were across from each other looking at the moves, and it was so freeing. Oh, now that doesn't mean you can't do a slow dance when you pull in, and I still love that. But I loved having my own space and my own rhythm and my own body movements without having to consider.
Yeah. And I think when it goes into the bedroom, it's the same feeling.
Same thing.
Now, there are times that I can get on top and not touch my clit and grind down and get the right angle, and I can have an orgasm, and my partner might have one close to the same time I do.
Don't count on it.
But don't count on it, and that can happen. But what's the difference if they have an orgasm, and then I roll over and I grab my vibe, and they use their hands on my body?
That's the whole point. You're still connected.
You're still connected. But why do we see it as less? We see that as not sex. Like
that's ancient conditioning. Me Tarzan, you Jane. Me do you. You be glad. You know, it's like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Because I know that once you break through that and you dance together as equals, oh, it gets hot. That's when it's...
And I think that's when all those things, those desires and the ideals come into play. Because if you are equals and you understand each other in your own bodies...
Yeah. One of the great things about Orgasms for Two,
book.
Yeah, it's now an ebook, but unfortunately that didn't get much play because it really... I'm questioning how we do partner sex, and I'm suggesting other ways to do partner sex.
Independent orgasms together.
And
That's
one of the comments that we called it partner-assisted masturbation.
Which is one of my favorites. I have to say it's like my favorite thing in the world, and to me, it's very intimate sex.
It's so intimate because you're in control of your primary sex organ, and your partner is enhancing the experience with their hands or tongues or kisses and all that.
That's what I fantasize about.
They do it in a way that doesn't interfere.
No. Yes.
So that it's like, ooh, it's a dance. And so you're in...
And they're watching your body.
Yes.
And they're doing little stimulation knowing, and I think that's very gratifying too.
Partner-assisted masturbation. And the reason I like the word masturbation in there is that that's what we're all doing. Now, when a man has his penis inside a vagina, he's masturbating inside your vagina. He's getting what he wants. He's got the angle. He's got the rhythm. And you're in a holding pattern or you've got a groove going. And so what about the woman? So we have our vibrator on our clitoris, and they're doing the vaginal penetration, and they have to accommodate us. In other words, we'll run it. We'll run the fuck.
It's not a big deal.
No.
Sex isn't a test of your manhood. We're playing. And this is the game I like to play.
It's so much fun. So if we could say partner-assisted masturbation, masturbation means that you're in control of your primary sex organ. And then the partner-assisted, they're doing things that are enhancing the experience. And
sometimes I like to close my eyes because then I don't know what I'm going to feel next.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
Yeah. And I know that when Sheila and I were running the workshops and we were having sex together, trying to figure out how we could have sex as two women, that was what we ended up doing. I'd masturbate, and then she would enhance my experience with anal or vaginal penetration, and then reverse would be true. We'd take turns, and it wasn't romantic, and it wasn't hot, and it wasn't passionate, but it was consistently orgasmic. And that's the whole point. We both had our orgasms. And that's all you want from partner sex, is that you each get to have your orgasm on your own terms.
Hear, hear.
Agreed?
I agree.
Okay, so go do it. Go try it out and see how much fun it is.